Hi there. The bug that I want to show you is a bug centered around the physics objects in Forge, and it really affects how Forge works. And if it is fixed, we could see a ton of new community-made content utilizing the feature um, we've had for like 2 years now. We just haven't been able to use. Um, so open up a map on any Forge map in Halo 3. Um, you can see this is a map I've made. Uh, I made it like a decade ago, and I came back to it because I heard that there were new features for Halo 3's Forge, and I wanted to jump on that because I always remember the good times, messing with Halo 3 and Forge. Um, so if you spawn and try and save any physics object as fixed in the air, or really in any way you feel like it, um, it will not save when you go to custom games. So here I have a bunch of barrels that I've been using as sort of a blockage for this little upside down L-shaped area right here, and there's really no substitute for this. There's no other forge objects that I could possibly use to fill in this area because I'm out of budget. Um, and over here, I did something a little bit creative, tiny bit creative. I uh, made these radio antennas be floating railings, and I think they look quite nice. But when I load them into Forge or load them into custom games, um, they don't look nice at all, and I'll show you in a minute. You see this turret case right here I use to sort of funnel players onto this block so they can get up here where the shotgun is. That just falls down in custom games, and I'll show you that in a second. But something that's also very important to keep in mind is that when you're trying to use fixed objects uh, a material to make sure players don't get out of an area or get into an area that they're not allowed to go into, um, you can't use any physics objects because they will not be saved as fixed. See, I'm using these turret cases right here as sort of blockers. Is this fixed as saved? That's phased. That's phased. I thought it was moving for a second. So yeah, as you can see in Forge, I don't have any hope as a player to get out. But you'll see once I load into custom games, that does not tend to be the case. So just gonna hammer the point home here a second. No hope. No hope. Once they get here, this is the final part of the level. They can't get anywhere else unless they are smart enough to use the mongoose to get out. And I need to fix that. But yeah, so I'm gonna end the
Game
game
over.
in Forge, go over to custom games, and I'll show you exactly what happens when fixed objects load in. Now, this doesn't affect objects that save themselves as fixed normally. So if I went into Forge in Foundry and I loaded those um, big double boxes and I loaded them as fixed, they'd stay fixed because the original parts of the engine that controlled them had them stay fixed. And I don't really know why, but that's just the case. So I'm going to load that same map. Okay, I'm going to load that same map as a custom game. I'm just going to load up Slayer. One moment. Alright. I'm not really sure why it's an untrusted file. It might be because it's ported from my main MCC files. But I don't think there should be an issue. relating to the bug I'm talking about. So, once we load in the custom games here, we can immediately see they do not save as fixed. So this entire wall, this entire little blockade I had here to make sure that no infected got in and no survivors got out. This is an infection map, by the way. It's just gone. So I can make it so this map works, but it will be a lot more dumbed down. There'll be less features, less things to do. These didn't even spawn in yet. They don't typically spawn in for a second. But once they do, you'll just see them fall down. In the meantime, I will go over here and show you. Oh, there they are. That one always needs a little nudge. But yeah, a fixed object would not behave like that. My beautiful railing is gone. And I can just get out. So, really the reason why this is a huge issue is because if anyone wants to forge with an increased budget on one of the original maps, like Last Resort or Snowbound or somewhere that they fondly remember playing, you know, matchmaking back in the day, they can't really do that. There's no sense of control over any of the areas in the map, so I can't, you know, block off certain areas or really do anything without expecting players to break the game. And I know for sure that if this is fixed, there'll be much more potential for community-made maps to pop up in the original maps for Halo 3. And I really look forward to that, and I look forward to this being fixed. Thanks very much for watching.